What's happening, guys? Back with another reverse update. This is now for week 9 and things are still going pretty well. So I actually had a Disney trip with my family over the weekend. We just got back Sunday. It is now Tuesday while I record this. I'm going to try to get it out Wednesday or Thursday. Anyway, I was not tracking during that time, or I actually shouldn't say that. I was tracking, but very loosely, all right? So I wasn't really paying super close attention, but just kind of throwing some things in and just basically trying to make sure that I kept within a somewhat normal range. Didn't mind going over a little bit, but just wanted to make sure that I didn't go too far crazy. Now, usually when I go on a vacation or a trip like that, I don't track. I'm a very big believer in experiences and memories over things like worrying about your weight. Right? I really truly believe that. Plus, I find that most of the time when we go on trips like this, we end up being a lot more active than we normally do in everyday life, especially going into like Disney where you're going to the parks and you're walking around all day long. You're probably getting 25,000 steps each day. You are super active and you can eat a lot more calories. I wanted to just make sure things are going so well with this process now, and I have my first show next year. Just really wanted to make sure that I kept things at least somewhat in check. So I very loosely tracked and just kind of made sure that things didn't go crazy or anything, which came back, was up about a pound, which is totally normal coming back from vacation. Usually it ends up dropping within the next couple days. It actually did, as you can see here, it came back down to a more reasonable level, a more normal level, which I expected, which is why I actually waited an extra day to check in with Paul this week. So there was actually 8 days on this week, missing a couple weights for when we were gone. But as an average, as a whole, weight actually dropped by 0.2 pounds from the previous week. So things are still going really well, clearly. So as per usual, as is becoming the trend right now, he raised my macros by 10 carbs for the week. So that brings me up to, hang on, my phone shut down. 180 protein, 380 carbs, and 80 fat for total calories of 2,960, which is actually up about a little over 719 calories from the beginning and only up about 3.5 pounds. So obviously still going really well. Paul actually did say we could probably get more aggressive here, but things are going so well and my body's responding so well to what we're doing. It's kind of like, why change things up? Let's just keep rolling with it, which I totally agree with. So we're just going to keep this process going and, coming up on some pretty cool milestones. You know, we got 3,000 calories is knocking on the door, 400 carbs is knocking on the door. I don't think I've ever been in the 400 carb club. I think I got as high as, about where I'm at right now, I think I got as high as about 370-ish at the end of my last building phase that was kind of cut short due to the digestion problems I was having at the time. But anyway, eating a lot of food, making some good progress, building some muscle, everything's going really well. On a personal note, in terms of energy levels and stuff this week, I'm actually pretty fatigued, and honestly, like, I just have really not been feeling it this week. Like, I'm just being totally honest with you. I've been in this kind of like, I don't want to state. Like, I don't want to do anything. And I don't really think this is related too much to the reverse diet, honestly. I think it probably has more to do with just being fatigued in general. And that tends to happen. Like if we don't sleep well, if we get overly run down, we get a little bit cranky, it tends to happen. This is something that we always have to pay attention to when we're starting to feel our feelings a little bit. We have to go, okay, like, am I tired? Are my hormones out of whack? How am I feeling? How's my recovery been? How's my rest been? And for me, I'm at the end of my training block now, so I'm on the last week of this training block. So obviously fatigue is now built from 6 weeks of training. So fatigue is high for that. While we had a blast at Disney, that's not exactly a relaxing trip. Right? You almost basically need a vacation when you come back from that vacation because you're just moving and on the go so much and you get really worn down. So there was that. Didn't get a ton of sleep. So just been pretty tired and just really haven't been in the mood to do a whole lot. But as always, you got to keep the show on the road. We can't just not do the things that we need to do because we don't feel like doing them. If you want to get results in the long run, you have to continue to do things that you need to do, whether you feel like it or not. So we still go to the gym. Obviously, I still do my check-ins, do my job, and I still put up YouTube videos like this and things like that. Just don't really necessarily want to, but that's okay. It'll change. Like, whether it's good times or bad, doesn't matter what it is. Things will always change, right? They never last. We always have to remember that. So after next week, once I get some recovery, go through a deload before my next training block, I'm sure that'll make a world of a difference. And I think on a separate note as well, I think it's important when you get to the stage to make sure you still push through this last training too, right? Like, we are giving our body a reason to change, all right? We are giving it a chance to adapt to a stimulus that the body's not used to, and this is what's going to force some changes moving up. So we don't want to just necessarily go, oh, well, I'm tired, so I need to back off immediately. Sometimes there's some benefit to pushing through that and then backing off later. It kind of takes a lot of time, all right? I've been doing this for many years now. I kind of understand my body a little bit better. I know when I'm either really overly fatigued and need to back off, or when I just need to kind of push forward a little bit more and then back off later. And at this point, I recognize the signs of myself, knowing that, hey, let's just push through this last little bit. Got a lot going on right now. It'll get better, and we'll feel better. But yeah, I don't think that's reverse related. And actually, with regards to that, I've been talking a lot about how my hunger has been an issue, or not so much hunger, but appetite, all right, where I'm not hungry, but once I eat, I don't want to stop eating. That is starting to get better. So hopefully that means that leptin's getting to a better spot. My hormones are improving. And now that we're getting out of the reverse diet for a decent amount of time now, 9 weeks, calories getting pretty high, some body fat coming back on. Hopefully I'm getting into a better spot where some of that stuff will now be in the past. We will just have to see. Anyway, that's all I have this week. Any questions, please let me know, and I will check with you again next week.
I'm addicted to the love that you're giving. Every minute, every day I've been craving.